Because more than a year ago, not only here in the United States, but the whole world learned some very startling details about the massive scope of the National Security Agency's surveillance programs. And since then, the American people, and actually all three branches of government, have been debating the same fundamental questions about the extent of government power the framers considered when they crafted the Constitution. When and how should the government be permitted to gather information about its citizens? How do we protect our country while we preserve our fundamental principles and constitutional liberties? And these questions are more relevant, more complex as technology develops rapidly and more data is created every second. Mr. President, nobody questions the government cannot just walk in your house and rifle through your drawers and your filing cabinets and your cupboards to see what you might have there without due process of law and search warrants. But that's not where we keep our data anymore. It's on computers. Well, by the same token, they shouldn't have the right to do it there either. To what extent does this massive collection of data improve our national security? What cost to our privacy and free expression? If we pick up everything, do we actually have anything? That's why I'm introducing the USA Freedom Act of 2014. It builds on the legislation that was passed by the House of Representatives in May, as well as the original bicameral, bipartisan legislation that I introduced with Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner 10 months ago, last October. Now, I continue to prefer the original version of the USA Freedom Act, but we're running short on time in this Congress. But ultimately, we senators and our colleagues in the other body have the responsibility of the American people to do what is right and to protect the privacy of American people. So I'm glad the executive branch supports our bill. I'm glad the President agrees it should be enacted as soon as possible, because it will be the most significant reform. This is the thing to remember, Mr. President. If we can enact this bill, get it signed into law, it would represent the most significant reform of government surveillance authority since Congress passed the USA Patriot Act 13 years ago. It's an historic opportunity. We would be derelict in our duty to this country if we passed up that opportunity. This is a debate about Americans' fundamental relationship with their government, about whether our government should have the power to create massive databases of information about its citizens, or whether we are in control of our own government, not the other way around.